Roadrunners Hall of Fame, class of 2025, Jake Palmer.
Whenever there was a guy on base and they were in scoring position, Jake was up, it was a guarantee that we were going to score runs.
Jake Palmer grew up not too far from another baseball team in the RMAC in Colorado Mesa in Grand Junction, but they never recruited Jake, so he took his talents to the Mile High City to play for the Roadrunners.
So I first met Jake my first year here, which was his sophomore year, and he was really raw. And Jake, just like his personality, he found a way to insert himself in the lineup. And it was at that time that I really started to recognize him as a lot of potential offensively. Strong hands, great hand-eye coordination, pitch recognition was off the charts, and that's when I really started to notice him as a player.
Jake came into the program as a catcher, but with an All-American already at that position, he made the change to outfielder so he could get himself into the lineup every day.
Yeah, so Jake was one of those kids that he was a player's coach. And what I mean by that is he accepted all information. And that's one of the type of players that you wanted to coach when you were being a coach. But Jake was really one of those ones that was out at the front that when you asked him to do something, even if he didn't understand it, he would do the best that he could, and then he would approach you later and be like, you know, can you help explain this to me? Can you explain the why?
His hitting ability only improved as his Roadrunners career progressed. His 236 base hits still sits fourth all-time in program history. His talent was always there, but his ambition to be great took him to that next level.
I saw a quiet confidence about himself. He didn't let the lows get too low and he didn't let the highs get too high, which is key for being successful in baseball. You know, we're in a sport that's very high failure rates, and it didn't seem to affect Jake. But really able to hit to all fields, and that's a skill, that's a talent. That's not just coached, you have to have that inbred in you.
He helped lead the 2008 team to one of its best all-time seasons. The program won a then school record 38 games while going 30-10 in conference play. Jake was a big part of the offense, hitting a ridiculous .412 and driving in 89 runs, which was the RBI record until it was broken just this year.
Jake was a battler. I mean, he was one of those guys that you wanted up with 2 outs and the tying run on second, and he was the guy that had that personality to be able to say he's going to remain calm, he's going to let the situation play itself out, and he's going to fall back on his training, which he was always very good at. He worked very hard.
The stats and the success from that 2008 season led Jake to earn his All-America Award, an award that his future wife and Roadrunners soccer great Kylie Hanavan had won a few times already.
I think that's always part of it, you know, when you date an All-American and then you become an All-American yourself. I think that's something that I'm sure has conversation around the dinner table, but without a doubt, it had to come up. Like, if you're gonna, you know, pursue an athlete like that, then you better be something yourself. Congratulations, Jake, to the 2025 class of the Hall of Fame at Metro State. It's well deserved because not only were you a great baseball player, you're a great teammate, and you're one of the great kids to coach because of the talent that you had was fun, but also the person that you were. Nobody is more deserving than yourself, and I'm so happy that you're finally able to be recognized in this type of setting. Congratulations, love you, and it was an honor and pleasure to be your coach.
Hey everyone, I'm Bobby Pierce. I had the honor of coaching Jake his junior and senior seasons at Metro. Jake, I wish I was there to give you a hug and congratulate you in person on your incredible career and much deserving honor tonight. Thank goodness Coach School and I have kept in touch throughout the years, and I was able to find out about your induction into the Hall of Fame. Now, I'm most happy for you because your induction into the Hall of Fame should get you some street cred with your kids. At the dinner table, your kids can now say, Dad was pretty good at sports too. He's not Mom, but he was pretty good. He was pretty good. All joking aside, Jake, you were a bad man with a bat in your hands. Opposing pitching coaches and pitchers never had a chance against you during your career, especially your incredible senior year. I remember they tried to challenge you with the fastball, and because of your deadly combination of skill and power, you'd punish those fastballs to the opposite field gap for doubles and home runs. And then they tried to trick you and throw you off speed, which fed into your great natural timing, and you'd hit the off speed over the scoreboard and into the net for a home run to left. You truly made the difficult game of baseball look easy. The opponent was at your mercy, especially your entire senior season. Hall of Fame ceremonies were invented to acknowledge and celebrate the level of dominance you displayed in the game and at Metro during your career. Now, while your hitting numbers greatly impacted the 2008 team on having a great year, like many Hall of Famers, you brought a lot of intangibles that made you a winning baseball player, a great teammate, and a great leader. It was an honor to coach you, Jake. You're now officially now, one of the best student athletes and baseball players to have ever walked that campus. You've earned every ounce of recognition and praise that comes with being a Hall of Famer. Congrats. Love you, bud.
Jake Palmer, Roadrunners Hall of Fame class of 2025.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new.
I first want to thank Eric Lansing and everyone who put on this awesome night. This is my third or fourth banquet I've been here for, obviously not myself, but Eric always does an awesome job and make it special for all of us. I want to congratulate the inductees tonight as well. Always great to be in the presence of Metro State greatness that's not at my dinner table, obviously. Want to also special thanks to the two tables sitting right here, Tommy and Amy, Colberts, Lasassos, my man Ian, Bankses, Albertsons, all my boys over there. Love you guys. Royce and Jane as well. Thanks for being here. It means the world to me. Growing up in a small town in western Slope of Colorado, I started playing baseball or all sports at a young age. By the age of 12, baseball became a true passion. I was the biggest guy on the team and started to have a ton of success. By the end of my high school career, I realized that no one was coming to see me in Montrose, so I had to go out and do it myself. I started putting lists together of, open tryout showcases of the colleges that I thought I wanted to go to. I went to Arizona, Kansas, and got a couple small offers from small schools. Then I went to Mesa State, which was 40 minutes down the road from where I grew up, and never got a call back. So it was pretty discouraging. One day my mom said to me, in Metro State, it's got an open tryout, and we're going. We got in the car the next day, drove 4 hours. I did the tryout. Drove 4 hours home. The next day, Coach Perico calls me and offered me a spot to walk on. It took me a couple days to decide on that decision. Obviously, I was really looking forward to or trying to go to Mesa State. But looking back on that decision, and now I've made a lot of dumb decisions in my life, that was ultimately the most important decision of my life. In the 4 years at MSU, on top of all the baseball success, I met my wife my sophomore year, still the love of my life. I met my best friend, and now my business partner, from an internship that we were offered in a class here at Mesa State for Slammers baseball. We then created a business together, and we still run it to this day. We both also coach for Slammers 16 years later, and our boys get to reap the benefits for playing and training for the best baseball organization in the state. MSU and the journey I had literally laid the foundation for the rest of my life. That's enough about me. I want to thank all the coaches and teammates here at Metro State. Sorry. I was lucky enough to have two amazing head coaches. I had the privilege of getting coached by Coach Perico in his last 2 years at MSU. This guy put a lot of time and effort into me. As a small town kid moving to the city on my own, I needed constant babysitting, which he did my freshman year. I spent a lot of time in his office just figuring things out, mostly how to get me to go to class. He was a hard-nosed, old-school coach on the field, but truly cared about his players' success off the field. He sat me down after my freshman year fall and asked me, "Do you want to be in the lineup?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, he said, "It's your spot, but it's not at catcher." I had caught every game I played since I was 12 years old, up to that point. He said, "You either sit and back up the senior catcher or learn to play outfield." Next day, I went and bought an outfielder's glove and went to work. Couldn't be that hard. After watching me take hundreds of fly balls that next week, he called me back into his office and said, "Jake, all you need to do is make the routine plays." Obviously, I was doing awesome. And just to make it clear, I'm not up here for my defensive accolades. But I must have done just enough because I never played another inning of catcher for the rest of my career. When he decided to retire, it was tough for me. I had a great sophomore season and was looking forward to the next season, and it left me with another tough decision. It left the door open for me to transfer somewhere. I give a lot of credit to me staying to the core group of teammates we had and to Joe McDermott, who was the AD at the time. Also, meeting my future wife that year helped a little bit too, I guess. But Joan brought a handful of returning guys in and made us a part of the hiring process for the new coach. She ultimately hired Bobby Pierce, which I was excited about after the whole interview process. Bobby was a player's coach. He leaned a lot on his assistants to do their job. It was awesome to be a part of his journey, turning a 17-win team his first year to us being nationally ranked team his second year. His demeanor brought a confidence to our team that our group of seniors embraced. We were dogs. The highlight of my career, and for that season for sure, was grinding out a 9-10 pitch at bat against the best closer in the conference late on Sunday and hitting a walk-off single to sweep Mesa State at our place, a school that I grew up 40 minutes from and never gave me a chance. That team we had my senior year was loaded with studs. It was a true brotherhood, on and off the field, which led to the success we had. Truly an unselfish team. I'm honored to represent those guys with this award, and I hope this is just the start of that team getting honored. I want to especially thank my man, Tommy School. This guy means a lot to my family and I. Tommy came on my sophomore year with Coach Perico as assistant coach. I give all my offense success to this guy. Tommy is an all-in guy. Everything he does, and it's a lot, he's all in. The way he approached the players, he earned my respect right away. He created a bond with us that we could go to him for anything. We spent a lot of hours in the tunnels together. He's a guy that wouldn't sit there and coach every swing, but he'd let you kind of work things out, and if he needed to throw in his 2 cents, he would. I grew up with a dad that if I had a bad game, he wouldn't dog on me. He would just tell me to work harder, and that's exactly what I got from Tommy. So thank you. Mike Gordon and Steve Matheny, these guys were my club coaches. I just got to throw them in here. They truly created the love for the game. We had 12 guys coming from a small town that I played with from, when I was 12 years old. I graduated with the same 12 guys, and these were my guys. And I still, to this day, every time I see them, call them coach, but they're the best. My dad, Big Steve, the guy that put the ball and bat in my hand at a young age and created this obsession I have for the greatest game in the world. I know it kills him that he couldn't be here tonight, but he's fighting his own battle. The toughest guy I know. Still to this day, and I've played and coached hundreds of baseball games. He's the only coach I've seen wear a cowboy hat, mullet, skin-tight Wranglers, and work boots on the field. This is for you. Lastly, I'm very fortunate to coach my oldest son and a group of awesome 12-year-olds. 12-year-old young men, let's say. There's a handful of them sitting right over there. And I'm going to leave you boys with this. I've been throwing this word out for the last couple months at practice. See if you guys got it. There's a storm inside all of us, a truth of how far you're willing to push yourself. Outliers push their limits to find what their full potential could be, some becoming undeniable at what they do. Look at this life as a gift, and pushing yourself to find out what your highest potential could be is the ultimate way to honor the gift. Go Ballers. Thank you, guys.